Instruction to create an EU account, import, edit, launch the EU survey and extract results from the EU survey. In the instruction manual provided, go to the first chapter, create an EU account. Further, follow the link given. Click connect as I don't work for an EU institute. And start creating an account. Provide your first name, last name, email address, change the language of your interest, and select the privacy statement. And click create account. Once the privacy statement is accepted, click create an account. It will take up to 60 seconds, following which you will get a link to create the password. Now go to the email ID and create the password by clicking on the link provided. Give your password, confirm your password and submit it. Now you have successfully created an account. But before logging in, go back to the same link provided in the instruction manual and register for the mobile number because connecting to the EU survey will require two-factor authenticate steps. Now here, add your phone number here. Here in your account, click add mobile phone number. Give your mobile phone number in an international format. Once you provide your phone number, add it to your account, which will take again up to 60 seconds. Once your phone number is registered, you will receive a text message with your code. Add in the code and click finalize. Now your account is successfully created. You can go to your account. However, to log in back to the EU survey, connect to the link given in the instruction manual and connect as I don't work for an EU institute. You will be redirected to the EU survey. Read through the protection of your personal data and give I accept. Now you will be directed to the EU survey dashboard. It's a place where you can create a survey. However, the JRC has already created the survey and provided you the template. So, in order to upload the template, go to the new survey and import the survey. You can select the file to upload, which has been provided by the JRC. The survey provided by the JRC will come with an extension EUS with the title MSA Resources 2022. Select this template and click Open. When providing the name, make sure that you don't give this any space. Here I will add MSA resource underscore MS. And here my email ID is right. I confirm and I'm going to import. Then it will ask the form has been imported. Do you want to load it? Accept yes. Now in the dashboard, as you can see, the MSA resources has been uploaded. However, it has not been yet published. Before it has been published, there are few things that you should check. First, you will see that your name is there and you are the owner of the MSA resources for this survey. And next, I will quickly show you how to edit the EU survey. In order to edit the survey, you go to the tab Editor. The main language of the EU survey is in English. Please make sure that this is not edited. However, we have created many different translations in your national language. In order to access that, you can go to the translation section. Here you can see all the translated versions. However, this translated version is a mission language translation, so you may want to check your translations if it's right or wrong. In order to do so, for example, I'm going to take the language French. How do I check this translation? So you go to the edit section with the like a pen symbol, click on it. Here you will see the English version and the translation. I want to check this text. So I click on the cell given below and then I edit the content of the text. Once I finish editing, you click OK. You click OK and then click Save. Next thing you want to do is to go to the property and check if your email ID is registered. In case if your contact information is not right, change the contact information and click. EU survey is ready to be published. Before the EU survey is published, it is advised to check the EU survey. In order to do so, go to the tab Test. Here you can choose the language of your interest and according to your national language, but for easy access I'm going to choose English so that everybody can understand. Here as you can see we have 6 sections. That is, first is an introduction section where you will have the objective of the EU survey, or the objective of why we are collecting the MSA resource data and the use of the MSA resource data. And the second is the definition, where we have provided the definition of the indicator 1, the scaled budget, and the purpose and the categories that should be considered for the budget. And the second one is the indicator 2, which is the scaled star. Again, the definition and the purpose, and also what is FTE and how FTE is calculated. In order to support the MSA to calculate the FTE, we have created an FTE tool, and the link is provided in this section and all other sections. When you click on this link, it will take you to the FTE tool. The FTE calculation tool, which is designed to determine the total number of FTE allocated to a specific sector or a group of sector. Okay. The two type of percentages can be considered, whether the type of employment, if it's a part-time employee or a full-time employee, and the sectoral allocation. It could be that the MSA is allocated 100% to a sector, or it could be that it is only assigned 20%. So we have provided you a step-by-step guide on how to use the FTE calculation tool, again for a specific sector or a group of sector. Now let's see for a specific sector. I have only one staff and his full-time employment is 100% and the sectoral allocation is 80%, so the FTE is 0.8. Now, for example, I have a group of sector, which is 4 staff, and their time of employment is 80%, and the sector allocation is 60%, and their FTE is 1.92. Now, this is for an individual sector. Now, you have a group of sector, that is with a number 4 staff allocated with 80% of employment, and allocation percentage of sector is 60%. And then you have one staff who is 100 full-time employee 100%, but his sectoral allocation is only 20% and his FTE is 0.2. Now, for a group of sector, the total FTE is 2.12. So you can calculate FTE for a sector or a group of sector. Now, let's go back to our EU survey in the test. So the next section will be the instructions. It's the instructions for the MSA on what information they have to provide. For an individual sector, they need to provide information on sectoral budget in euros and staff in FTE. And again, for a group of sectors, they should provide the information on budget and staff allocated as an aggregate value for a multiple sectors. When the information is not applicable, please, they have to leave this cell empty. And if you have any comments, you can also be provided. Now let's go and check this individual sector. Here, as you can see in the individual sector, the fields that are marked star are mandatory. So they have to provide the information. Uh, the name of the organization is a mandatory field, but they have to provide the name of the organization in compliance with the list of the MSA by the sector. Okay, and the list of the MSA by sector is provided by the DG Grow. Here you will have the list of national market surveillance authorities by sector. So for test here, I'm going to just provide the name ABC, and then I as an MSA has been involved in the sector aerosol and biocide. So I am going to provide the budget in 10,000 euros, staff allocated in 3.2, and the categories that were considered for this budget are external lab testing and administrative costs. And the next sector is biocide, which is 30,000 euros, for example, and 5.8 FTE. And here the categories that were considered are internal lab testing and infrastructure. As you can see, this selection of categories is a multiple choice. You can choose like one option, or you can choose up to 6 options. When you have provided information or for the sectors that you are involved in case you have any comments that you want to fill in, you can provide the comments. If not, you can go to the next session. The next section is grouped sectoral data. For example, MSA has a group of sector and they have a budget for all these group of sector. Let's say in my MSA, I have one group of sector. For example, I have the sectors that involved in this group are ATEX, cable, and drones, or we can choose EMC. And for this, the annual budget is 50,000 and the staff that's involved is 6.3, and the categories that are involved are internal lab testing, infrastructure, and administrative overhead. Suppose in my organization, I have up to another group, then I can choose for another group. So here you can choose up to 4 groups. You can provide information up to 4 groups. And once you have provided this information, if you have any comments, you can provide the comments here. If you don't have any comments, no problem. You go to the next section here, which is like where you submit it. But of course, if you have any further suggestion, then you can add them. Please provide them in the comments saying that, for example, you can say, could you please provide further instructions, for example. And if you have no comments, no problem, and then you can click submit the survey. When the survey is submitted, for example, you feel like the information that you provided was not right, it was incorrect, and you would like to edit it, you can go back, edit the information. For example, here I feel like in my individual sectoral data, the information I provided for my staff is not right. So I can edit this information and go back and click submit again. So this is how the EU survey works. So it is all good, everything is in order. So you need to publish the EU survey now. So you come back to your EU survey, go back to your dashboard, select the EU survey that you have, and now you click publish the EU survey. Let's, so now the EU survey is going to be published. As you can see now, the EU survey is published. If you want to distribute this link to your MSAs, you go here, click copy link address. So now you have the link, you go to your email, and this link is now ready to be sent. So you have this link and this can be sent to around to all your MSAs. So this is good. And now let's imagine that you are an SLO and you start collecting the information from the MSA. The role of the SLO is to aggregate these data, to collect these data, aggregate them, and put it into the Excel reporting template, and then send it to the TG Grow and the GRC. In order to do so, you need to find where this information is being collected. For that, you go to the result tab. If you go to the result tab, when people start to contribute to the survey, this result will get automatically populated. Unfortunately, at the moment, we have not done that. So I have done some test here. So you can select, I'm going to select the test answers. So you will see here that the answers are getting populated. As you can see, first in the column is who you can edit it, whether you can print it, and you can download it as PDF. And the second row is, or the third row is the name of the organization, and then from there you will have up to 36 sectors assigned. So first will be the aerosol and the budget assigned to aerosol, and the staff are available for the sector aerosol, and the categories that were considered for the budget. And similarly, it will be provided for all the 36 sectors up to mm, tires, tires and vehicle. So now vehicle, you have the annual budget, the staff available, and the category selected. And of course, end of the survey, we have if there are any comments. And the next section will be the group sectors, where you can see they have selected the which group, and then the amount that they have provided, and the staff available, and again the group of categories. And then here you will have four groups, up to four groups, and then the comments, if any, in the fourth section. And then the end, you have if there are any comments available for future suggestions. So that is also there. Now, before you export the data, one thing that you need to do is to go to the setting and choose which information you want to export. So if you go to the setting, please don't do anything. The show assigned values can be no problem. And here you can choose which information you want to export. The show information usually is selected all. If you want to choose invitation number, contribution ID, creation date, last update, you can choose it. But for info, for the export, we advise you to not select this information, because this information is not necessary. But for you SLO, the name of the organization is important. But please remember that this information is only for the eyes of the SLO. So here you can select the name of the organ. If you don't want, you can unselect it. But if you want, you can choose the name of the organization, and all the columns here will be selected. And then you click OK. When this inform And then this is fine. And then now you have to export the data. For example, I would like to select all the information from the SLO. So I click select all. So I select all the information from the MSAs. If you don't want, you could only select few MSAs. But at the moment I'm selecting all MSAs, and I am going to export it. First you need to provide the name of an export file. Here I'm going to provide test 11, for example, and you can choose the format. There are many format, which is Excel format is the first one recommended. Then you have ODS, XLM, and PDF. But we highly recommend you to choose the Excel format, which is XLF, because it is easier for you to aggregate the information. And then click OK. So this information, as you can see, export started successfully, and it can be accessed via the export file. Now, where do you go for the export? As you can clearly see above, here you have an export tab. You click here export, and here we can see that our test file has been created. So the export test is now available for download. You select this file and you download it as XLS file. So that information is downloaded. Now let's see how this Excel file will look like. I have Now I have saved this file here. Now let's open the Excel file to see how our test results look like. So this is how our test results looks like. Something that you have to note is that the numbers here are usually saved as text. If it's saved as text, it is very difficult for you to sum these results. So I'm going to show you an easy trick to convert these numbers as numbers from text file to numbers. So one thing you need to do is select the file and click Control Shift Control and Page Down button, and then to select all, again Shift Control Select All. Now you come back to the first row, and then so this is our Excel file. This is how the results will get be. Now this is our Excel file with all the results. Something that you need to notice is that the numbers are usually saved as text. So first thing you need to do is to convert these numbers from text format to number format, because if you don't do it, it is very difficult for you to sum these numbers. So how do you do that? You first select the first cell and then click Shift, Control and Page Down button, and then again Shift, Control and the side arrow, the right hand side arrow, and then it goes to the whole, it selects the, the complete list of cell. You come back again, click on this yellow box and say convert it to number, and boom, it is converted to number. Another thing that you can see that the heading is, you cannot see the heading properly. So what you do is that again you select the first cell, and then you click Control Select and you go to your right arrow button and you select all the headings and you click Wrap Text. So automatically your headings are always up. So now if you want to sum the total of the arrow cell, you can click equal sum and select all the sum, and boom, you will have your total. So similarly you can do for all the sectors or for the group of sectors. So this is the Excel file, and this is how you have the result. And when you have the results, the next thing you need to do is to copy all this result to an Excel reporting template. I have another video to show how to fill this Excel reporting template. Thank you.